My Primary School Classroom by Alison Pennington. I see tadpoles in one corner and soft cushions in the other, where we would lounge at close of day, one leant against the other. And Mrs. Lee would read to us around 2:45. Before I'd go and meet my mum, she was always there for me. Tired little people then, thumbs in mouths, some crabby. Some now nearly nodding off, but in the main, all happy. The books on racks around us, like baubles on the tree. A rainbow joy of colours, and restful place to be. I remember noticing my feet as I lay there in respite. I loved my summer sandals, made of leather, red or white. My classroom then was big and bright, a safe and airy place. So much laughter, love and joy went on inside this space. Along a wall was one ginormous, rusting radiator, which honked alongside kitchen sounds of dinner made for later. A sink sat by the window there, which gurgled, moaned and clanked. For months I wondered why its name might be Vitreous Shanks. We were each given little jobs. There was always heaps to do. An honour if you had to wash the pots of paint or glue. And we all had drawers, where I must have kept my pencils, I suppose. It was made of wood with finger holes to open it and close. No pens, just pencils in the infants for doing any writing. Pens only came in juniors, a prospect so exciting. My counters there, in a metal box, I used over again. I couldn't do without them when counting over 10. In the morning was class register, with names called out in turn. To start with, I would miss my name, as it took a while to learn that in my teacher's quiet way, when she said, "Alison," I always thought she spoke to all. I thought she said, "And listen." From there might be arithmetic, and this I'd really hate. The numbers swirled around my head. I couldn't concentrate. But all the rest was wonderful. The English and the art, writing poems, making pictures, stuff made from the heart. I sat near to the nature table. It nestled there behind us. I'd often find my gaze went there, to nature at its finest. Twigs and stones, leaves and flowers, collected on our walks, up to the moors, our minds infused with call of crow and hawk. We usually walked up past our house, together, not a care. And in my head, my mum still stands at the window, waving there. My table now, though once so big, seems oh so very small, like something out of Goldilocks, next to a big white wall. The chairs we sat on daily, me and all my little chums, had yellow circles on the backs, just meant for tiny bums. The blackboard was a whirly one. You rolled it up and over. Very modern back in those days. And nearby a board rubber. Mrs. Lee might give us free playtime. There was always lots of choice. But it's not the toys I remember, but her loving, kindly voice. Even when she told us off, so gentle her approach. I see her now in her blue twin set, complete with pretty brooch. She then might call our name out so that she could hear us read. I'd rummage for my bookmark, something I would always need, to block out all the other text and read each single line, absorbing each new word I read with pride, one at a time. And when the queue became too long, a solution was quickly found. No new support staff needed. No one had to hang around. In those days, there was no such thing as a trained teaching assistant. A dinner lady, duly called, arrived within an instant. On every wall was artwork, according to the season. So often I would gaze at it for no apparent reason, but inside it just felt so good, with sparkles everywhere. The magic was around me, that's why I often stared. Christmas angels made of loo rolls, with their doily wings. Autumn bonfires, golden leaves, paper daffodils in spring. Easter bunnies, Easter baskets, bats for Halloween, and always lots of glitter. Such enchantment in each scene. My teacher's desk, a very sacred and important place. We'd take our work to show her there, so you had to learn to wait. And if she praised you, it meant more than trophies or awards, and along with that might be a star to put upon the board. Her pencil sharpener had a handle which you had to turn to hear that lovely grinding noise and get the best return. On stubby pencils, crayons, all blunt and split, not nice, but out would come the whittled product, pencils, sharp, precise. The cupboard held a treat of things we'd need throughout the day, like plasticine and new felt pens, or wrapped up balls of clay. Writing books, all neat and clean, the scissors and the glue, an honour to be opening it if the chosen one was you. The smell inside, delightful. The colours, such a joy. To have the key a daily aim for every girl and boy. And as our teacher chose, each voice rose to capacity. Our hands shot up along with cries of, "Miss, miss, me, me, me." When toilet trips were needed, we were usually sent in twos. I liked the peace and quiet that I found there in the loos. Just a little time out to process and to breathe. A quick wee, hand wash, paper towel, a natter, then we'd leave. The toilet paper used back then had no absorbency, which was kind of contradictory because you needed it to be soft. This was hard and crinkly. No comfort there at all. It looked like tracing paper and it felt like silver foil. I think its name was Izal, and unsurprisingly reminded you in printed words to now wash your hands please. It blocked the loos so often and usually caused a flood, which the valiant dinner ladies then had to clean and scrub. To us though, it was all good fun and just another part of joyful primary years forever held within each heart. When paper needed cutting, teachers used a guillotine. Letter, legal, tabloid, and sizes in between. It didn't have a cut-off guard, just a handle on one end. I loved the slicing paper sound as the sharp blade would descend. It seemed that we were always growing cress in various places, in pots lined on the windowsill, or hollowed eggs with faces. And sometimes we would bake some gingerbread men, or angel buns with spongy wings every now and then. Assemblies singing with the piano, quiet prayers of peace, led by the head or vicar, the cross our centrepiece. I made great friends with Sally and Mary from the farm. Friendship then was simple, no agendas, easy, warm. We spent so many happy hours together in the hay or making dens up in her fields through long, warm summer days. Some kids were called milk monitors. Their job to go and fetch the crates in from around the back, which often birds had pecked. But still we had to drink it, as we also did when it was frozen solid with ice caps on each lid. At playtimes in the yard, I'd run up to the line and wait for my big sister, who might come round sometimes, to see me in the infant yard to check I was okay. I'm blessed that she still calls on me to check even today. I'd see the big kids playing, skipping ropes in hand, off-ground tig or kiss chase, and chain tig, which was banned, because the lines became too long, so many kids would fall or fly off from the very end and run into the wall. In our yard we did patter cake and chanted many rhymes, like Under the Brown Bushes, repeated many times. When Thursdays came, we'd join singing together on the wireless, with Geoffrey Wheeler's dulcet tones always there to guide us. We'd join in keenly, croon along with each new melody, which I can still recall today so very easily. At PE time, we always had the chance to run about, out in the yard, or maybe get the apparatus out, which was very high, but no one thought of danger or crash hats. The only thing twixt us and floor was one small, skinny mat. Yes, health and safety then was at a minimum. Yet we survived. We conquered fear, but best of all, had fun. At home time in the cloakroom, I had a yellow hook, sometimes a haven through the day, a quiet little nook. But home time meant just grab and go. I'd gallop off outside to Mum, all safe and smiling, with her arms open wide. I'd meet her at the gate, and if the weather then was hot, we'd wander off down School Lane to Mrs. Fletcher's shop, or Romer's little cake shop, where we'd buy a cake for tea, before we went back up to school for my sister at 3:30. I am so blessed to have all of these memories in my head, for when my thoughts get wobbly, I can think of them instead. And if I ever had to choose, I'd leave out all the rest and live my life back in these days. They'll always be my best. Simplicity and innocence. No trouble then or strife. A village frozen now in time. A slower pace of life.